Shadows in the Sky, the Pentagon's hidden UFO program. What was once considered science fiction is now science fact. 2009 Pentagon Briefing Summary. In the vast darkness above our military bases, something watches, something observes, something that defies the laws of physics and leaves our most elite pilots shaken to their core. For decades, the U.S. government denied it all, until now. The secret program. In 2007, behind closed doors in Washington, D.C., 3 powerful senators made a decision that would quietly change everything we thought we knew about our skies. Republican Ted Stevens of Alaska, Democrat Daniel K. Inouye of Hawaii, and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid of Nevada did something extraordinary. They secured funding for a clandestine government program designed to investigate what the military had been witnessing for years: unexplained aerial phenomena. The program would be funded through what Senator Reid called black money, government funds designated for classified projects that bypass regular congressional debate. And just like that, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program was born, operating from the shadows of the Pentagon with an initial $22 million budget. Most of that money flowed to Bigelow Aerospace, owned by billionaire Robert Bigelow, a man who had previously confided in Senator Reid his absolute conviction that aliens had visited Earth. The operation set up shop in an underground Las Vegas complex, collecting reports from military personnel who had witnessed the impossible. The whistleblower, by 2010 military intelligence official Luis Elizondo, took command of the program. A veteran Department of Defense employee with extensive counterintelligence experience and top-level security clearance, Elizondo would later describe the secrecy as so complete that even some of those inside the Pentagon were unaware of its existence. The program's mission appeared straightforward: investigate sightings, identify unknown objects, and determine if they posed a threat to national security. But what they found challenged everything we thought we knew about aviation technology and perhaps our place in the universe. We had PhDs. We had CI people. We had trained intelligence officers, Elizondo would later reveal. Most of us tend to be by nature skeptical because we are in the field of intelligence and national security. But I think once you get into the data itself, and the specifics regarding what we're actually seeing, we begin to realize that there may be something here. The encounters they cataloged weren't random. They clustered around nuclear facilities, power plants and naval vessels carrying nuclear weapons. Whatever was up there seemed to have a particular interest in our most sensitive military installations. The evidence. In 2017, after Elizondo resigned from the Pentagon in protest of what he saw as excessive secrecy surrounding these phenomena, 3 videos emerged that would change the conversation forever. Released through the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, these Department of Defense recordings offered the American public its first official glimpse into what our military pilots had been encountering. The first video, dubbed Gimbal, captured Navy fighter pilots' reactions as they intercepted an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Their voices tell the story that the grainy footage cannot fully convey. "There's a whole fleet of them," one pilot exclaims, stunned. "Look on the ASA." "My gosh," another responds. "They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots to the west." The object they tracked showed no visible signs of conventional propulsion. No exhaust plume, no wings, no rotors. It moved in ways that defied aerodynamic principles. In the second video, known as Go Fast, recorded in 2015 off the East Coast, pilots track an object moving at extraordinary speeds just above the water's surface. The audio captures their astonishment. "Oh my gosh, dude! Wow, look at that!" The object appears small and oval-shaped, like what multiple military witnesses have described as resembling a tic-tac, white, oblong, and featureless. The Nimitz incident, but it's the third video from the now famous 2004 USS Nimitz encounter that truly challenges our understanding of what's possible. On November 14, 2004, Commander David Fravor, commanding officer of the VFA 41 Black Aces Squadron, and Lieutenant Commander Jim Slate were dispatched to investigate strange aircraft that had been appearing on radar for 2 weeks. What they encountered would haunt them for years. As Fravor approached the designated area, he noticed something disturbing the ocean surface below, what he described as boiling water above something just beneath the surface. Hovering 50 feet above this disturbance was an oval-shaped craft, approximately 40 feet long, with no visible means of propulsion. When Fravor attempted to approach the object, it began to ascend. When he tried to intercept it directly, it darted away at a speed that left him stunned. It accelerated like nothing I've ever seen, Fravor would later report. Then something even more inexplicable happened. The pilots were instructed to proceed to a cap point, a rendezvous location 60 miles away. Before they could arrive, they received a radio call that left them speechless. "Sir, you won't believe it, but that thing is at your cap point." The object had somehow traversed 60 miles in a matter of seconds, reappearing on their radar at the exact location they had been directed to. By the time they arrived, it had vanished again. Upon returning to the USS Nimitz, Fravor became the subject of ridicule, the pilot who claimed to chase flying tic-tacs. But he stood firm on what he had witnessed. "I don't think I was a nutjob. As an officer in the Navy, I wasn't drunk, I don't do drugs, I got a good night's rest, it was a clear day. I think someone should have looked into it." Having talked to some of the other folks, it's a big frustration that it's coming out now and wasn't discussed back in 2004. The aftermath in October 2017, Luis Elizondo resigned from his position at the Pentagon, citing his frustration with the excessive secrecy surrounding the program. In his resignation letter to Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis, he wrote, "Despite overwhelming evidence at both the classified and unclassified levels, certain individuals in the department remain staunchly opposed to further research on what could be a tactical threat to our pilots, sailors, and soldiers, and perhaps even an existential threat to our national security." Officially, the Pentagon claims the program was shut down in 2012 due to, quote, "higher priority issues that merited funding." Yet program supporters maintain that investigations continued, with officials working on UAP research alongside their other assigned duties. The questions that remain: are we alone? The evidence collected by the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program doesn't definitively answer that question, but it forces us to confront possibilities that were once dismissed as science fiction. The objects recorded by military sensors and witnessed by trained observers demonstrate capabilities far beyond known technology: extraordinary acceleration, hypersonic velocities without sonic booms, and maneuvers that would produce G-forces lethal to any human pilot. MIT astrophysicist Sarah Seeger offers a measured perspective. When people claim to observe truly unusual phenomena, sometimes it's worth investigating seriously. What people sometimes don't get about science is that we often have phenomena that remain unexplained. Could these encounters represent experimental technology from Russia or China? That was one concern that prompted the program's creation in the first place. But the capabilities described, objects dropping from 60,000 feet to 50 feet above water at supersonic speeds, then stopping instantly to hover, surpass even theoretical limits of current aeronautical engineering. In the end, the Pentagon's secret UFO program has left us with more questions than answers. But perhaps its greatest contribution is legitimizing the conversation itself, moving the discussion of unidentified aerial phenomena from the fringe to the halls of the Pentagon and the pages of mainstream publications. Something is in our skies. Something that our best pilots can't identify. Something that our most advanced sensors can detect but cannot explain. What do you believe happened here? Share your theory in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to DeepSoul Radio for more chilling cases like this.